Arkansas has seen a decline in turkey population for the last 7 consecutive years. However, brand new data shows that trend may be turning around, and many hunters are optimistic about the future. Wake Up Central Skot Covert visits with wildlife officials for more in today's Outdoor Report.
Hey, welcome back outside to the Weather Garden for our Outdoor Report with Trey Reid from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. Last week, youth turkey hunt, and I'm told by you got some pretty cool numbers to share.
It was a good opener,
and that
Scott.
bodes well for the rest of us. They get to go to the turkey woods soon.
Yeah, Monday everybody gets to go. Of course, it was just kids between the ages of 6 and 15 for the youth hunt last weekend, but remarkable weather. You know, it was sunny, mild, not a lot of wind, so you can hear the birds gobbling, and the numbers reflect that. And also, I think these numbers are kind of an indication, hopefully, I say this with cautious optimism, that, you know, some of the declines we've been experiencing really for over 20 years, we might be starting to see some turnaround and rebound from that. The youth hunters checked over 1,000 birds over
1,000 turkeys from last weekend.
From last weekend, so 700 plus on Saturday, opening day, and then another 300 and change on Sunday.
So give me the context of what that means, 1,000 birds, but what was it last year?
Okay, so about 800 the last 2 years, so it's about 20% increase.
That's an increase.
And Scott, it's the first time we've been over 1,000 birds checked for the youth season since 2016. So
that's impressive.
These are very good numbers.
Certainly feeling good at Game and Fish. So what can folks, do you think, look forward to as the season opens for the rest of us Monday?
Okay, I'm going to throw a caveat out there, right? So you say we're going to have good weather Monday and Tuesday, it looks like.
I'd say mild, a little bit on the warm side in the afternoon. Mornings will be great.
Perfect.
Evenings will be great.
Well, so that drives a lot of it, okay? You've just got to, number one, I mean, if it's blustery and rainy, nobody wants to go. The birds may not be as active, and so that bodes well for opening day. But the other thing is, we've been seeing over the last couple of years some increases in our reproduction. So we do surveys every summer to see, you know, how many poults or baby turkeys are walking around with hens, and those numbers were very good last year. Now, youth hunters can take jakes or one-year-old turkeys, so some of those birds were probably in that number I told you. Adult hunters cannot.
Got it.
So they may not see the benefits or reap those rewards until next year when they're 2-year-old turkeys, but we have been seeing an uptick in some of that reproduction over a number of years. We've been seeing some good gobbler carryover because we are starting our season later, much to the chagrin of some turkey hunters, but it is it is for the long-term good that we're doing it that way. We're trying to, and it starts on a Monday, which is something else. Not as many people can go, but that's kind of by design. This conservative season starting later, starting in the middle of the week. We want those gobblers to be able to get out there and breed the hens where they can go to their nest and have baby turkeys before we put the hunting pressure in the woods and disrupt things.
And to me, that makes a lot of sense. Your mission is to protect and conserve the resource, and that's what you got to do. And sometimes it's some unpopular decisions.
And the thing is, we don't want to close turkey season. You know, we want to still provide that opportunity, but we also want to be able to continue to provide opportunity years and decades into the future. And what's happening in Arkansas is not unique. Across the southeast, we've seen turkey numbers decline, mainly habitat loss and declining loss of certain types of habitat, that brood rearing habitat, that nesting habitat. And so, you know, obviously we're doing habitat work behind the scenes at Game and Fish to try to improve that. But I get a lot of questions about the late start to turkey season, so happy to have an opportunity to sort of lay it out while we do it.
Encouraging news on the turkey front. We got to switch gears here. There's something I've never done as a lifelong Arkansan, and I'm ashamed to admit it. I've never hunted bullfrogs, but season opens soon.
My experience is very limited with bullfrogs as well. I'm not partial to snakes, and you kind of tend to run into them.
I'm horrified of snakes.
No, but yeah, you're right. Bullfrog season opens at noon today, and so it's a nighttime endeavor for the most part. You do have to have a fishing license. A lot of people don't. It's called bullfrog hunting, but you have to have a fishing license to frog hunt.
$10.50.
$10.50.
It's like literally the only thing, and I know I say this probably every week, it's the only thing that inflation hasn't increased the cost of.
That's right. That's right.
Great bargain.
Bullfrog hunting's fun, and so good luck. April 15th every year is when it starts, and if you're so inclined, get out there and do that. And if you're not, maybe turkey season for you. Monday morning it cranks up.
Too much snakes, too much mosquitoes. Honestly, I don't think they taste very good. I mean, I know a lot of people say they do. I'm just not a fan.
Okay, all right.
So,
well,
it's just not for me.
Well,
just not for me at all.
We'll let the hardcore frog hunters take care of the frogs.
Have at it, folks. Have at it. Trey, thanks so much. We'll
Thanks,
see you
Scott.
back out in the weather garden next week.